Hi, and thank you for being here. Thank you to Gizmo also for being here. So today we're going to do some core exercises. So basically the goal of today's workout is to strengthen and stabilize the core. So we're going to do 3 exercises and we're going to do 3 sets of 12 for each one. So that means that we're going to do 12 repetitions, we're going to take a break, and then we're going to do 12 again, and we're going to do that 3 times. After a break, we're going to move on to the other exercise. So this is going to be short. It's for like when you want to move but you don't have a lot of time. So, and you might see my animals because, well, I have 3 cats and a dog, so they're going to show up at some point. Okay, so I'm going to move Zia. Come on, move. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to start on our back and we're going to do an exercise called Deadbug. So it's not the best name for an exercise. We're also going to move Gizmo. Oh. We're going to lay on our backs. And throughout the exercise, you want to make sure that your back stays flat against the mat. So you don't want to like arch your back here, okay? So we're going to lift both feet off the ground like this. And then we're going to extend both arms in front of us like this. So this requires a little bit of coordination. So if it doesn't look perfect, that's okay. All right, so we're going to do 12 in total here. So our first repetition, we're going to extend the opposite arm, opposite leg. So the lower you go, the harder it is. If you're up here, it'll be a little bit easier. Okay, so that's 1. We're going to come back up, and then we're going to switch sides. So this takes a little bit of practice, so if it doesn't look perfect, that's okay. You know, it's still, even if it doesn't look perfect, it still works. Make sure you don't arch your back. So that's 6. 8. Good. We're going to do 2 more. And last one. Awesome. You can release. Take a moment, take a breather. And of course, none of the animals were doing anything before I started filming. And now that I am, they're running around. But that's because they want to exercise too. All right, so make sure your back is pressed against the mat. Okay, we're going to lift our feet, extend our arms, and again, we're going to go opposite arm, opposite leg. The lower you go, the harder it is. It's all about control here. We don't want to go too fast. Focus on those core muscles working. If you notice your back kind of lifting, press it back against the mat. Good job. I'm going to do a few more. One more on each side. And perfect. You can release. You know, this exercise looks kind of easy when someone else is doing it, but then when you're doing it, you realize it's maybe not that easy. So if you find this difficult, don't worry. You're not the only one. Gizmo is finding me very entertaining right now. Okay. All right, we're going to do our last set. So when you're ready, adjust your back, make sure it's stable. We're going to lift our legs off the ground, extend our arms. And again, we're going to do it opposite arm, opposite leg. And the lower you go, like the closer to the ground you go, the harder it is. So if you want to go up here, that's okay. You know, every day looks different, and we just have to listen to our bodies. Okay. I think that's 8. Good. And last one. Perfect. Okay. That's it for this exercise. Good job. Okay. So for the next one, we're going to stay on our backs and we're going to do glute bridge because our glutes are part of our core. So, and our glutes, I mean our butt muscles. So for that exercise, we're going to place our feet as close to our bums as we can. And you can either place your arms next to you like this to help you stabilize, or you can place them up here for a little extra challenge if you want. So I'll do a short demonstration before we start. So you're going to press your hips up. You're going to squeeze your glutes. And then you're going to lower, and you want to stop right before you touch the ground. So you don't want to go all the way down because then you're relaxing and you want to keep that tension the whole time. Okay? So we're going to do 12 of those. So we're going to start now. Lift our hips, squeeze our glutes. We don't want to overarch here. We're just keeping our back straight, lowering before we touch the ground, and squeeze up. Exhaling at the top. Good job. We're halfway. 8. Good. 2 more. And last one. Awesome. You can lower down, relax, take a moment. If you need to do a little stretch, you can go ahead. I was debating not doing the video today because I walked in the rain and my hair got all frizzy. If you have curly hair, you understand the struggle. But then, I was like, the goal is not to look perfect before we exercise. The goal is just to show up. So I showed up, and I hope you're showing up too. Well, I mean, if you're doing this workout with me, then you are showing up. Good job. Okay, enough talking. Bring your feet close to your bum. We're going to lift the hips again. Squeeze, lower back at the bottom without touching the ground, and come back up. Again, we're not overextending, so we want to keep our back straight at the top of the movement. We don't want to overarch. Awesome job. We're halfway through. 8. 10. That means 2 more. Amazing. You can relax. And we have one more set to do. And then one more exercise, and then we're done. Last one. Feet close to your bum, hands next to you or like this. And we're going to lift up and back down. You know the drill. Again, this is a movement where it's about control. The goal is not to go as fast as we can. Good. We're at 6. 8. 10. 2 more. You got it. And one more. Awesome job. Okay, you can release. Now we're going to go on our hands and knees. Laying down was fun. Now we're switching. Okay, So for this one, you're going to be on your hands and knees. So you want your knees and your hips to be aligned, and you're going to want your wrist and your shoulders to be aligned. And we're going to keep the back straight. So this is called bird dog, and it's kind of similar to the dead bug, but instead of being on our backs, we're on our hands and knees. So for this one, I'll do a short little demonstration. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to extend our opposite arm and leg, and then we're going to come back and switch. Okay. So again, this is a slow, controlled movement. If we do this, that's all fun and games, but we're not going to be working our muscles the same way. And we also want to prevent arching our back. So we're going to try to keep our back as straight as we can. Okay. So we're going to get started. We're going to do 12 in total, and we're going to start now. Good. All about control. Good. Make sure you don't arch your back here. I believe we are at 6 if I did not miscount. Good. That was always the hardest part about teaching classes for me. It was remembering my count while I'm talking and doing other things in my head. I believe that's our last one. Awesome. All right, we can take a moment if you want to sit down for a sec, give your wrists a break. Awesome. How are you feeling right now? We have 2 more sets to do, and then we're done. So we're almost there. Okay, hands and knees again. Make sure everything's aligned, your back stays straight. And we're going to extend opposite arm, opposite leg. Good work. We're halfway. Good. Take your time. Even if you're not going at the same pace as me, that's okay. You can pause the video if you need. One more on each side. Awesome. I'm going to take a short break. One more set, and when we're done. If you have plans after this workout, please let me know in the comments. And also, if there's any other exercises or type of workouts you'd like to see, let me know. I'm open to suggestions. All right, we're going to do our last one, making sure everything's aligned, back straight, and we're going to go opposite arm, opposite leg. Good work. Make sure your neck stays straight too. You don't want to be looking down like this or up. I believe this is 8. Actually, no. We would have one more on each side. I was like, that doesn't make sense because we started with this side. All right, that's it. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm so glad we could do this workout together. And please give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it. Send me your suggestions, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.